Hey, it's Luke from LT Gaming, and today we're jumping into my top 12 upcoming turn-based strategy games. The ones that look like they have serious potential, but if there are any others you think that should have been here, stick them in the comments below. Whether you're into big campaign maps, crunchy tactical battles, or that one more turn spiral where you suddenly realise it's 1 AM, there's something here for all of you. And if you enjoy these LT Gaming curated strategy lists, do me a favour and hit like. Consider it reinforcements arriving right on time before we march into battle. Okay, no more messing about, let's dive in. If you've ever wanted that Heroes of Might and Magic style overworld loot, building up towns, scooping up resources, leveling a hero, and snowballing into ridiculous army compositions, but with battles that pop off in these big chaotic auto fights, Heroes Hour 2 looks like it's aiming straight for that sweet spot. Think I need to take a break after that sentence? It was a really long one and I'm proud of my lung capacity there. When I was discussing this list with Tom this morning, he was the one that suggested this title, so well done to him. It's why having two of us really helps. The pitch here is build grand cities, raise armies, pick a faction with its own flavour, then watch these massive clashes unfold while your hero and spell choices steer the carnage. What makes this one worth watching is that it's not just more of the same, the whole appeal is the combo potential. Different factions, different hero builds, different unit mixes, and that one more turn loot where you're constantly setting up the next power spike before the next big fight. It's targeting 2026 and published by Hooded Horse, who are on a brilliant run right now. Alright then, if you're in the mood for something grim, grounded and properly Viking, and I mean, who isn't? Norse Oath in Blood is basically a story-driven tactical campaign set in Dark Age Norway. You're playing Gunner, rebuilding after your father is killed, putting your people back together and going on a very personal path to vengeance. The hook here isn't just win battles, it's the whole loop. Grow a settlement, manage villagers and roles, craft and upgrade gear and forge alliances. Then take that warband into fights where positioning, terrain, elevation and flanking actually matter. What's making this one stand out is the mix of tactics plus community building with a heavy narrative lean, which I'm a huge fan of, and every decision in this one feels like it has an impact. Reminds me a lot of Viking Expeditions, one of my favourite games I've played in recent years. And the game actually released as I was making this list, so go pick it up now. If you like the idea of Owlcat doing 40k but you want something more Inquisition focused and investigative, Dark Heresy is basically you stepping in as an acolyte and getting thrown into dirty work across the Calaxus sector. Interrogations, conspiracies, moral compromises, all daily jobs at LT Gaming, I mean part of this title. It's still party-based and story-heavy like you'd expect, but the hook they're really leaning on is the investigation layer, where you're gathering clues, connecting threads and making judgment calls that can swing outcomes, not just combat wins. If you've read any of the 40k novels, this world is absolutely incredible. Some of the best books I've read are the Horus Heresy and Inquisition series, so make sure to check those out, or let me know what you think below. What's got me watching this one really closely is Owlcat have been actively pushing feedback loops, which usually means systems are being shaped in real time. So this definitely isn't a wishlist and forget type game. I think they're going to deliver something pretty cool pretty soon. Saying that, there is no release date yet, but if you're into grimdark roleplay, which I mean, okay, fair enough, then this has serious potential. Stick it on that wishlist today. If you like Normandy games at that proper operational scale, planning a push across a hex map, managing formations, timing attacks and trying not to get your armor stuck, WEGO World War II Overlord is very much in that serious wargame lane. This one is available I think on the Matrix store for a while. I do have a copy, but it's coming to Steam and a perfect opportunity to pick it up. What makes it interesting for this list is that WEGO angle. Both sides plan, then watch the turn resolve. The format tends to create those brilliant moments where you feel clever, right up until the replay shows you drove straight into the exact ambush you should have seen coming. It's a really fun title. I spent some time with it when Matrix sent me a copy, and it's very unknown, so it's great to add it to this list. As we've seen on the channel lately with Carthage, Bellum Punicum and Grand Tactician, wargames still get a lot of love. And it really puts a smile on my face. So let's do another one. If you like big global World War II grand strategy that feels like it's pulling straight from the tabletop scene, Total Victory is aiming right at that niche. It's from the Warplan developer Kraken, who we know very well, and I left off a wargame list recently and he let me know it, so yeah, here you are. All in good fun of course, and I think I did a Warplan Pacific review a long time ago and the channel was a lot smaller. This one looks like it's focusing on those classic pillars, running major powers, managing production and research, and coordinating land, air and naval operations across a global map with supply handled through ports and routes, so you're thinking logistics without drowning in it. This is one you have to go out and wishlist because Kraken is a great developer for supporting and building his titles. If he can nail this one, it can be one of those dangerously replayable World War II sandboxes, and I've got more coming on this in the near future. 1492 Colonization of the New World is going for that classic colonization strategy loop. Sail out, explore the map, found settlements, grow them with specialists and juggle trade. And diplomacy with rival powers as you expand. This one of course looks like a direct successor to one of mine and Tom's favourite games of all time, Sid Meier's Colonization. I think a lot of the music is reused, the artwork looks very similar, so yeah, not sure how they're getting around that, but it does seem like a totally legitimate project. There's also a demo and a playtest available if you're curious, and I'd highly encourage you to check them out. It looks like it's coming together pretty quickly, so you should be able to get your hands on the full version of this very soon. Just a quick interlude to say most of you who watch the channel are not subscribed, so make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button because it helps smaller channels like us grow really quickly, and both me and Tom really appreciate it. Tabletop Fantasy War is basically a tabletop-inspired tactics game where you build your own unit groups, drop them onto these board-style battlefields in the fantasy world of Corsac, and win fights through smart positioning. It's got campaign progression for your groups, plus skirmish and multiplayer if you just want straight matchups. It's worth a look right now because there's actually a demo available and the dev updates point to real things getting ready for launch. They've updated it with faster movement options, a revamped tutorial, new campaigns, units and creatures, and balanced tweaks to terrain and formations, with the full release currently set for March 6, 2026. A little bit more of a hidden gem this one, and we have to keep those coming on LT gaming lists. Machiavelli the Prince is an old-school strategy classic. It's brought to us by the same team behind Emperor of the Fading Suns, which was one of my favourite games growing up, and I never thought I'd actually be featuring it on my own YouTube channel. Sometimes with LT Gaming I feel like we're in dreamland. And this is a great opportunity to ask you, what was your dream turn-based games growing up? I know it was a huge genre when we were kids, so make sure to stick that in the comments below. But in this title, you're building power through trade routes and money, but the real fun is how dirty it lets you play. Bribing senators and cardinals, hiring mercenaries, raiding caravans, and stirring chaos. Even pushing into papal politics with excommunication and crusades if you want to go full villain. Why it's worth flagging for a modern list is it's being positioned on Steam with a coming soon status and a demo listed. In fact, Andrew from HDI is sending me a preview build now, so there goes my evening. I'd highly encourage you to check this one out. I was speaking to Tom about it and he reminded me of the absolutely amazing mechanics this one introduced to the genre. If you like strategy where the battlefield is the economy and the backroom deals are half the victory condition, this is one to wishlist. Mars Tactics is doing that XCOM-ish fantasy but with its own twist. You're fighting a corporate capital army versus Labour revolutionaries across Mars. Bouncing between a big strategic map and gritty squad level missions, it looks really cool. And the standout hook here is that fully destructible terrain where you can literally make cover, something that's very underrated in our turn-based tactics games. What makes it one to watch is it's clearly heading towards a proper milestone, and of course Hooded Horse are publishing this one. They're on an absolute burn at the moment, with early access announced to release in May 2026. The recent updates have been drilling into later game mechanics like mortars and broader campaign layer progress. And if you like turn-based tactics games based in a really cool sci-fi aesthetic and published by a trusted publisher like Hooded Horse, this is one to definitely keep your eye on. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus II is basically that much bigger sequel, and it's going to have tactical missions with that crunchy squad vibe, plus a proper strategic layer where you're fighting over regions across an entire world. I mean, yes, sign me up. The big headline is you're not locked to one side this time. You can lead either the Adeptus Mechanicus, yeah, pretty excited about that, or the Necrons. Although the Necrons don't really do it for me as much, I think it's nice to have them as a playable side. With two narrative campaigns and very different playstyles, the Mechanicus leaning into cover and positioning and the Necrons literally tearing the battlefield apart, this one looks absolutely epic in scope. This one is basically one to watch because it's Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus. I mean, what else do I say? It's got to be on your shortlist almost instantly because that scope looks ambitious and it's not losing its identity. We've more environmental mechanics, bigger roster choices, and upgraded leaders. Plus, your decisions should shape the war's outcome. It's currently slated for 2026 on Steam, and it's just an absolute must wishlist for anyone interested in Warhammer 40,000 or turn-based games. Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era is of course the prequel to the beloved series, and Tom has covered it a number of times on the channel already. But if you're into building towns, recruiting heroes, stacking armies of classic fantasy creatures, this one's going to be for you. The loop in this game is of course very addictive. You're looking for mines, artifacts and fights before it all kicks off into those big tactical battles against your enemies. It's coming from the developer Unfrozen, and Hooded Horse have actually now picked up publishing here, which is interesting. There's a demo still available on Steam, and I'm sure many of you have already tried this one out, so I'm not going to labour this one too much. It's looking pretty good, though some people are a little skeptical about how it looks a bit more like a mobile game, but I'm going to stay open-minded on this one. Tom is definitely the Heroes expert here, so as more of a neutral player, though I did love Heroes too, I am excited to try this one out, and I think you should be also. However, there is another new Heroes-looking game on the horizon. Stormbinders is a classic hero-led fantasy conquest game, and it's brought to us by Slytherin. And it's got a really cool twist. Storms are a third player in every battle. You're roaming a global map, grabbing resources, upgrading your realm, recruiting armies, and then fighting on hex battlefields. For a lot of us, that is a dream-style game. Except the weather and magical storms in this one can actively reshape how a fight plays out, so you're not just executing a routine build every time. I know there are a few members of our Discord, including our moderator, who are very excited about this title, so a shout out to you, JJ. What puts this one firmly on the LT Gaming radar is that the dev diaries are going deep on how the systems work. Stormbinding links seasons, terrain and magic schools with different storm types changing movement, mana, damage and the whole rhythm of a game. If you want, you can even just turn those storms off. Like I said, it's published by our good friends at Slytherin and it's listed as coming soon. It's certainly one of those games with a classic throwback look, and I'm very excited to get my hands on this one. I'm sure Tom is also. Right, there we go. It's been a while since we hit turn-based games, and we always like to keep up on it. Make sure to do all that YouTube stuff. We're absolutely flying here at LT Gaming at the moment, and we really appreciate all of the support that we've had. I've been Luke from LT Gaming, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.